Michelle.
Hello, everyone. So we are doing our very first Friday AMA, Ask Me Anything, here in the Amazon influencer group. And as we get started, I actually want to say something about that because we're going to be pulling the word Amazon out of the name of this group. Just, an abundance of caution. Amazon does not like in way of their terms of service for people to use the name Amazon in things that are not endorsed by them. So it will have zero impact on anything in the group other than we're just going to pull the name Amazon out, but wanted to go ahead as we got started today and let you guys know that that is coming. So it'll be a small, just a change in the design, but nothing crazy. So we've already got, hey, Kimberly, it's good to see you. So, um, all right, we have been talking about this for a while, and we as mods would love to do this in almost like a monthly setup if we can, where we come on here and we answer questions. We want to be a safe place for people who are aspiring or trying to expand and grow. Um, so if that's you, like always, anywhere in between there, we just want you to know that we'll take all the questions at these. So come live, watch the replay, send us questions ahead of time, whatever works best for you. And we'll do our best to get to all of the questions. So, what we wanted to start with is just some quick intros in case you haven't met each of us on the call. I'll start and then kick it over to the other mods here. But my name is Liz Saunders. I'm the founder of Fluencer Fruit, one of the mods here in the influencer group. I started as an Amazon influencer 2 years ago, actually this month, which is kind of crazy to me. And before that, did a lot in the Amazon seller space and have just loved all the ways that you can make money on Amazon for what feels like a very, very long time now. So did a lot of work in the seller space, have done KDP merch, just kind of like messed around with all of it. So I do have 3 teenagers, so I kind of joke like whenever people are like, "What do you do in your free time?" I'm a taxi, and am hoping that more of my teenagers get their driver's licenses really soon. So I'm going to go in order on my screen and just kick this over to Elizabeth.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth. With a wink and a smile is my tag. I started with Amazon 3-ish years ago.
Nice.
For the most part, as far as on-site goes, I was doing some off-site affiliate stuff prior to that, but not like a whole lot. So my main source of income on Amazon is on-site platform. I do not do much off-site, hardly at all. I'm trying to grow that, but it's slow and steady. I started really in the influencer realm on Instagram. And so that just kind of morphed when Amazon opened up the live streaming and videos. I was really right on the first part of that. So that's how I've kind of gotten going. I've got about 3,000 videos up on Amazon currently. I'm a mom of 6. The oldest is 18. The youngest is 19 months. So yeah, and it does get better when they get their driver's license. I now have 2 with driver's license and 1 with a permit, and it's amazing.
We have 1 driver's license, and even that has changed my life. So I'm like counting down to the second one.
It's great.
So, and I see Jasmine and also Kathleen over here. You guys, I've got Facebook over on this side so I can see. I did forget to mention that we're using StreamYard. So if you hit StreamYard.com/Facebook really fast, it will hopefully pull in your Facebook information so that when I put your comments up or when I see you over here, that I'll be able to see who you are. And there's Gary too. Hello. All right, Jen, hit us up.
Hello, I'm Jen Duncan. My tags on Amazon is inspired by Jen and all my other social medias besides my Facebook. But I started with the Amazon Associates program a little bit over 2 years ago, and I really did a lot of offsite stuff. I've modded in groups. I'm building my own group currently. Like Elizabeth said, it's very slow and steady. I've been on the influencer side for just about a year now. I'm in the Connect with Brands program. I have access to the on-site. And I really enjoy like working with brands one-on-one to kind of grow those relationships. I am a mom of 2 under 2, but they're 3 and 4 technically. They're 13 months apart, so I'm gonna have my mic off for most of this because they're just being chaotic in the background. So if I look away, I do apologize. That's me just trying to cater to them. And yeah, that's pretty much that's it.
Love it. Thank you. Yeah, I think one of the things that I love about the Amazon space and just kind of like the world that we all live in is we all have things, right? Like, so you guys have smaller kids going around. My kids at some point, or my dogs at some point will bark. Hopefully, my kids won't bark. That makes it weird. But, like it does show a lot that like it kind of doesn't matter like what season you're in. If you have the margin where you want to do this, like, it's a good side hustle for you, right? Because you can put it down until the kids are at nap time, or you can put it down when your kids have shows or soccer or, whatever other family or, work obligations that you have. So I like that. And they're going to like, there's a lawn company next door that of course is currently, doing work. So we'll just, do our best over here. So I actually have a question that actually has already come in off of YouTube. It says, will the Facebook group be about more than Amazon, or will it be the same? And the Facebook group is specifically for Amazon influencer. So if you don't have to be an influencer yet, but it is for anybody who wants to be or anybody who already is. So yes, the Facebook group is about Amazon influencer as well. Oh, Stephanie's joining us too. This is Stephanie saying hi, friends. So, boy, this is great. I love it. Let's see. Exploring New Heights says, Beth here. I may watch this in parts, checking in and out, but we'll watch all eventually. That sounds great. So, all right. Well, let's get to questions, shall we? I pulled some out from earlier, and forgive me, everybody who I pulled your questions in. The max for these to be displayed is 200 characters, so I couldn't include your names. I apologize. So we will get to all of the questions that were asked, but if I don't name you, I apologize. So, all right, the first question we have is, can multiple people upload videos from the same account? And in this question, he means to the same Amazon influencer account. For example, can I hire a team with members? For example, can I get a female team member who can do videos on cosmetics while I upload videos for PCs? And I'm going to let Elizabeth, if you want to speak to this one.
Let me unmute myself. Yes, you can have other people do videos for you. It used to be not okay. Amazon has since changed that, and you can have multiple people on your account. So if like your husband wanted to do something and your teenager, within reason, they say 12 and under should not be on camera alone. But I do have my teenage daughter. She's 16, almost 17. She has done some makeup videos for me because that's her thing. She knows way more about it than I do. Or hair videos. She's got super curly hair. So some of those things that are more pertain to her that she is more knowledgeable about, she can do a video for. My husband is an audio guy. So when it comes to tech equipment and things like that, like, I'm like, can you take this over? Because I would really just be reading off the back of the box, and they don't need that. Like, they want more information than that. So yes, you can have multiple people do videos for you.
Yeah, I hope this is not super loud, but I think that they probably did that because of WTI, right? It was against terms, but they have so many people on their team, and obviously they have like 10,000 plus videos. All right, let's move over. Jen, do you want to take this one? I have seen some of my videos do really well with top carousel placement. Then 2 weeks later, they get bumped off. Has anyone seen these videos get placed back on the carousel, or should I create a new one?
So Amazon likes to rotate videos all the time, top carousel, bottom carousel, off the carousel. I suggest, in my experience, just leaving it where it is. And maybe if it's off for a couple of months, maybe going in and like updating your title or your thumbnail, that seems to kind of bump it back into rotation onto the carousels.
Sorry, I muted for the lawn people and then forgot. What about having an employee actually upload the videos for you? This is from Kathleen live.
You want me to go back to that one?
Yeah.
I would do that with caution, simply because in order to upload for you, you would have to give them all of your login information. So just make sure you know who your employee is and use caution.
Yeah, I agree with that. I know that there are influencers in the groups that have VAs that have been with them for a long time, have all of their credentials and upload. So on the seller side of things, they have like multiple users where you can give people different levels of access to your seller account. I'm hoping that at some point they'll let creators have some of those different types of logins as well. Obviously, it's not yet. But that's, kind of my hope as to where we're going. But I have a lot of hopes and dreams for Amazon, and they don't ask me my opinion. So we'll see if I ever get any of those. Kathleen follows up and says, cool, yes, just wanted to make sure we couldn't create another user access for them. I haven't found a way. Not yet.
You can't on the influencer hub side of it, but the affiliate side, if you wanted to add somebody for creating their own links and having their own ID, there is an area to actually give them access, and then they can log into the Amazon backend, and then they have their own associate ID, but it's under your account.
Huh. Like they would post links on their groups or their sorts of things, like they can create sub stuff. I'm sorry, I missed part of that.
That's okay. So Amazon gives affiliates, the associate side of it, the ability to add additional users under your account.
Nice.
So they don't log in through your credentials. They have their own, and then that gives them access to the back end of things. And then you as the admin have the ability to choose what options they have to see on the back end, like if they can see sales, if they can see reports, if they can see payments, stuff like that.
Got it. Yeah, Kathleen says, okay, he could pull links for me on the affiliate side. Thank you. Let's see. And then, oh yeah, Kathleen says, yeah, her VA has the login information. So, but now has the separate access, so he could pull affiliate links. That makes sense. All right, let's see. There is somewhere where you can add side accounts to your affiliate account, but not for uploading videos. Okay, yep. So confirming. Excellent. All right, let's go over to our next question, which is my big issue is that I uploaded 3 videos on November 12th and not a word. I am dying to get this aspect going. Any advice? Is this normal? I guess in the meantime, I'm just going to make a ton of videos. I'm really curious. So we've had, obviously, like at different points in the program, different approval timeframes, right? So like when I got approved for on-site, it was like spring of 22, I think. And it took like 4 weeks. But then last spring, we were seeing 6 to 8 weeks. And then over the summer, one of my friends got on-site approval in under 5 days, right? So we have this really wide span of how much time of on-site approval gets or takes. I'm curious, how long are you guys seeing in your conversations with people right now?
I haven't seen much of anything. Honestly, in my circle of friends, we all started prior to any of the approval process. So like,
Nice.
I didn't have to do any of that. So when people talk about on-site approval, I'm like, well, I don't really know, because I didn't have to do it, luckily. And when they implemented that, I didn't have to go back through and do anything to do it. And all my videos stayed how they are. So everybody I talked to is pretty much in the same boat that I was. But I do just think that it's just a matter of like riding the wave, the Amazon roller coaster that we like to call it. You never know.
Yeah.
My approval, so my first time that I signed up for the on-site, it was actually rejected, and that was about a 2-week wait period. And then the second time I submitted my videos, I was approved within 2 days. The second time was a lot quicker. And then during that time period where people were getting approved, it did seem to fluctuate a lot. There wasn't any rhyme or reason as to why some people were taking like 6 weeks, 2 weeks, couple days. But right now there's a little chat in my group of friends, and they're all saying that a lot of their friends applied a couple weeks ago and they're still in the waiting process. So right now it seems to be a very long span of time to get approved for on-site, just from like general comments that I've been hearing.
Yeah, Jasmine just said she heard someone getting in 4 days. And I actually just saw this in one of the chats as well, that somebody like uploaded, was approved in 4 days. And I almost feel like currently just watching conversations that were somewhere between, like, if you uploaded this week, it was like there's a really quick turnaround. But then people who uploaded at some point in November seem to be having really long wait times. And I'm not sure what the difference is or why that is, but just observationally, that's kind of like what I'm seeing. Okay, we've got a question here from Chance. Elizabeth, you're doing Canada as well, right? Okay. So Chance says, if you had to prioritize one international influencer program to focus on right now, which would it be? I'm doing Canada, but I'm wondering if there's another one that is already working well. I've been like constantly tagging you guys and Jen all over the place about Canada. So I'll let you guys talk about Canada here in just a second. Chance, I'll tell you personally, because I am committed to testing all the things so that everybody can learn along and not have to go test them themselves. I'm signed up for influencer in every one of the international marketplaces. I went through a couple weekends ago and just did it all the way through. And I documented this in a YouTube video, but I like went through and uploaded by video into like all of them, every placement that I could find for like 16 videos. And what I'll tell you is Canada's the only one that we're seeing with on-site right now. Only India has a creator hub outside of the .com, and Japan takes like an extra email for some people to get through because it says that your social is attached to another account. Like it doesn't do the auto pull like the other geos tend to. And my Japan storefront, even though I have 6 videos uploaded and on the backside it shows me that they're approved and published. When I go to my storefront, it says it's having a hard time pulling them. So I would say like the direct answer to your question is Canada. They're the only other location that we're seeing doing on site right now. And the other ones are just kind of like they've changed their creator hub content so that it says eligible for on-site placement, but I don't think they have yet like actually rolled out on-site anywhere else. And I'm curious, if you guys have seen anything else from people on the other geos. Not yet. Yeah. Let's see. Jasmine says, my sister is on day 3 of her wait, so I can update you once she gets a response. I would love to hear. Yeah, if my theory on December uploads versus November uploads holds. Chance says, gotcha. And Tyler says, I got in 3 days back in March. These 2 and 3 day approvals, I just want you guys to know you're my first. Jen, I've never heard anybody getting 2 days turnaround. That's amazing. And 3 days is also a first. So
I wonder if it's because it was my second try uploading. Like they already were like, first try took a little bit of time, and then second try when I uploaded the videos, they're like, okay, this is. Yeah. And I only changed one of the videos for my second trial, so I don't know if that helped, but it was nice getting that approval very quickly afterwards because I was like, one more chance.
I was going to ask you if you changed all 3 of your videos or if maybe you just changed out one. Which Amazon, did they tell you anything about a specific video or you just kind of guessed?
Nope, I just kind of guessed. The only video that I changed out was the only one that didn't have me physically in the video, and then afterwards I got approved. So I kind of figured, I was like, maybe that's it.
Huh. That's that week. That's what they cared about, right? Okay. All right. Well, let's switch over. I've got a bunch of Canada questions that we've had come in this week. So some of this may be a little bit of repeat, but just to make sure that we get to them. So, Jen, I'll let you take this one. Does Canada or the international marketplaces, do they have a creator hub?
So Canada specifically does not, but the only one outside of USA that does is India. But the process, from what I understand from Canada, or at least what I've noticed, is there's no approval process if you're already approved for USA. But I have heard that people are trying to skip past the USA and try to get onto Canada, and they upload their videos and they're pending for a long time. So I think, and I could be wrong, but I think that if you are approved for USA, you're automatically approved for Canada. But if you're not approved for USA, you're not approved for Canada. And I'll stop there in case there's any other questions. I don't want to cover everything.
I get that. Elizabeth, actually, your comment about being in the .com early and not going through the approval process gives me a lot of hope that some of our theories about Canada and the other marketplaces are true, which one of the things I'm trying to do is upload at least 3 or 4 to every marketplace to try and get in before there's the approval process for the additional geos. So your comment about that gives me hope that that might work out. All right. Elizabeth, do you want to take this one? Do I have to make separate video reviews for Canada?
Nope, you don't. You can upload your exact same videos that you've already uploaded. And again, I wish there was an easier way to do it. Like we could just upload one time and say, I want to upload it to this one, and this one. Unfortunately, you do have to do the multiple uploads, but you can do the same video over and over again. Same process.
Yeah. And if you guys haven't seen, so in the Fluencer Fruit tool, you have the ability to download your stats from Creator Hub right now in the .com. And the reason I bring this up is because we're pulling all of the information out of Creator Hub in that download, whether it's populated by Amazon or not. And one of the columns that comes up in the CSV file is shared marketplace placement or cross marketplace something or other. And so what I'm hoping, to your point, is that at some point, kind of like in merch, you can go through and select which products you want on which of the international marketplaces. I'm hoping that we get that, but for influencers. So when you upload a video, you can just pick which marketplaces you want it to go to. And in merch, when you do that, you can customize like the descriptions and those sorts of things. So maybe we get something similar where it's like you can translate your stuff, upload like subtitles with different languages, those sorts of things. Because I mean, since they allow it for the merch stuff, we are probably, I think, the most closest relation to us in the Amazon ecosystem is merch. So I've got my fingers crossed for a centralized Creator Hub for us. Let's see, we've got a live question. Let's move over. It says, Tyler says, my daughter got in 3 days as well, but I think it was because she has over 1 million followers on her account she signed up with. Yeah. I do think there's something to off-site activity that impacts on-site placement, even if you can get into the program. All right, let's see here. All right. I know we have some placement stuff on Canada that kind of like they pulled carousels last night. So outside of that, what I'm going to say categories. They said, where are you seeing on-site placements in Canada? But curious about categories. And I actually would love to hear from both of you where you're seeing on-site placements. So Elizabeth, if you want to kick us off, and then we'll go to Jen.
I have only uploaded about 10 videos, and I'm currently not seeing any placements on any of mine. Just a matter of time. I uploaded them about a week ago, I think. And I'm not seeing any placements yet, but I'm hoping. I did beauty. What else did I upload? Beauty and fashion, which I don't think fashion has any placements right now, but that's a lot of what I had. Like I was already uploading it right then. So I'm like, I'm just going to upload it at the same time. But beauty, I think, is supposed to have placements. So I'm just kind of waiting. Jen might know more about those than I do.
So I've seen cleaning. I have the Hate Stains on there, that cleaning product. I've seen the placement for that, and that's the main thing that I've been getting sales on in Canada. So it's like 10 cents a day, but big money, right? And then I've seen cleaning supplies, I've seen beauty and cosmetics. And my first big thing that was on the bottom carousel for like 3 days and then popped off was my Blackstone for outside. So I'm not really sure which category that was under. I think it's cooking or outdoor something or another. But the product's now unavailable and the carousel is gone. So
that's such a bummer.
What was that?
That's such a bummer that they pulled that.
Yes, because like that first day that I got that commission, I was like, I actually have a list on my phone here. Let me just see if I can find where I put it of where other people have reported seeing commissions coming in. So just give me 1 second.
Tyler just said electric shaver. So maybe electronics, or that might be beauty. If it's a shaver, it might be beauty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also
go ahead. No, go ahead, Jen.
I also heard someone say pet products are starting, but in the electronic part, like grooming stuff and brushes and stuff like that.
I have one of those I could upload.
Yeah. I uploaded a pet vacuum, like one of the dog vacuums, and it took Elizabeth, just to kind of confirm with you, or encourage you, it took a little bit over a week from the time it was published until the time it was placed. And I could see another influencer's video on the exact product that I have. So I was just kind of like crossing my fingers. So I do think that their placement is taking a little bit longer, even when they have the products with the lower carousel. And Chance is confirming with you, Jen, that he's got 15 in Canada and he's seen one lower carousel placement, and it's on a cleaning product.
Yes, yeah. Cleaning products, I think, were like the first ones that actually got placement. But it looks like it's beauty products, makeup, skincare, hair care, cleaning, and now pet products in the electric category, and outdoor patio seems to be another one that's hitting placements.
I'm gonna have to go through my outdoor stuff. Those tend to do pretty well for me.
Maybe we can make a thread or something that people could just add to when they
good plan.
Somewhere, or like a note. Is there a way to do that in the group?
I think in the chat, the influencer chat, there's sub chats you can add.
Oh, there you go.
We can like make one for where we've seen carousel placements.
Oh, look who's joining us.
Baby needs a diaper change.
Okay. Multitasking at its finest. Let's see. Tyler, thank you. Tyler says, this is such good info. Thanks so much for doing this. It's pure gold. We are happy to be here. As much as I love the chat and I love answering things in the group, I really love doing live stuff because it gives us the opportunity to do follow-ups as people think of things, or if it spawns like a different question. So yeah, I'm glad that you are enjoying this. All right, let's go back over. All right. This was an interesting question that came in, and I would love to hear how you guys are doing this, but how do I find out what my top sellers are for my on-site videos?
Pull your reports. I wish on our Creator Hub, because it'll tell you how many views, and you can sort that at the top. Like you can say, this is sort by lowest to highest or highest to lowest. And I wish in that it would also show us sales, but it doesn't. And a lot of times my top selling videos or my top viewed videos are not the ones that are pulling the sales. So you can do it daily. I tend to I kind of leave the reports to the side, and once a month, usually at the end when I pull reports, then I'll look and see, what was my top seller? Or you can see at the bottom daily, or however you sort whatever you're sorting your graph to, you can sort it down there as far as what's selling the most that day. So like I can see that I sold 5 Ninja blenders yesterday, but as far as for the entire month, it might be a little bit easier just to pull a report and do it with an Excel or something like that. At least that's what I've found.
Yeah, I think too, when you change your date range above where you see your chart for what your commissions were and what your clicks were, if you change your date range there, then that basically that table down below also shows by unit, by per purchase commission amount, and by your total. So you can sort either by what you've sold the most units of or by how much you've made off of each, and you can sort that table by either of those. The follow-up to this in the chat was they also wanted to know, including their placement, which of their placements had the best stats, and that's something that you can do Influencer Fruit. When you pull that report, it includes your placement along with your views and the percentages. And it also includes conversion rate, which is another thing that's in Creator Hub, but hidden. So I find that to be a pretty fascinating stat that I think over time we'll be able to start to dig into about what's working the best on your accounts, like which of your videos convert the highest. But those are the two ways that I know to do that.
And the other thing you might think about too is it's not necessarily your video, and it depends on what you're doing. If you do live streaming, it all groups it together. So you may be making that sale from a live stream and not from your video, or Amazon may have placed you somewhere as an advertisement. And so you sold this pair of pants a ton, but it was because Amazon was actually promoting it somewhere, and not necessarily from your video. So there's just really no way to know.
Yeah. I do hope I was looking yesterday. I saw somebody post, sorry, my filters do this. Like I've turned it off. I don't know. I have to turn it off every time I go live or do anything. It's so bizarre. But I saw somebody post like some new stats that are available to sellers around their product videos. And I'll actually post like a screenshot of what somebody posted about what stats are available for them. The reason that I think it's interesting for us to know what they're making available to the sellers is sometimes our stuff kind of like follows along or vice versa. Mm-hmm. So like in the back end of Seller Central, where they upload their videos, it looks very much like our Creator Hub, and they have the same stats. They have numbers of views, average watch time percentage, and then the length. I mean, it just looks exactly like ours. So it's pretty fascinating. So the fact that they're getting more stats around like add to cart and some of these other things in the back end, I'm kind of hoping that maybe Amazon will share with us as well. But yeah, you never know. All right, let's see. I've got one more from over on YouTube here. For some reason, I can't find this video on the Facebook group. It says 4 p.m. for me. I can actually tell you why that is. So this is in the Amazon influencer group with the check mark. And I think you're looking for office hours in the members group. But I am going to be live there here at 4 p.m. Eastern time for the subscribers. So don't worry, I have not forgotten you, and it will be in that Facebook group. All right, we've got one more question over here. And you guys, if you have anything while we're still here, please feel free to drop it in the chat. But here's the kind of last one that I pulled out from things people have asked us this week, which is, I'm trying to get into Creator Connections. The directions say from Creator Connections guide to download says, click Creator Connections under the promotions tab. It's not there. Am I eligible? So one of you
want to on your offsite or your on-site ID, because you do not have the Creator Connections option on the on-site ID. It's only on your affiliate or the one that doesn't start on AMZ.
You know, the interesting thing I think about Creator Connections is they really have done a lot of marketing for it in the influencer program, but it really works almost better and lives in the associate side of things. And so when I'm talking to sellers, I tell them that I'm like, listen, it's a great place to find influencers. It's designed really for more of that offsite stuff. But if you're looking for people to do onsite for you, a lot of the people in there are doing both. But from an influencer standpoint, I did in our chat, somebody said the other day that it's working for onsite now. Have either of you done a Creator Connections for onsite?
Well, it's not necessarily working for onsite. They're pulling your reports, and so you'll get credit for sales onsite now. And they did add a link. So like when you put that drop down menu and it says add your links in, they did add one that says video. So you can upload your direct video link now, and it will pull sales, but you still have to do it all from that affiliate side, not the onsite.
Interesting.
I also wanted to add that the Creator Connections is invite only. Mm-hmm. So if you didn't get the email for the invite from Amazon itself, unfortunately, you won't have the drop down in your portal to join the program.
That's a good call out. Let's see. Tyler and Jasmine both say, I've used Creator Connections with one of mine for onsite and it worked. And then Tyler says definitely works for onsite. This is really good. I'm going to have to go back now because I played with it like, I don't know, right when I got in, probably about a year ago. And it was still pretty choppy, like in way of like communication and hearing from brands. And Yeah. So I'll have to go back and play with the on-site stuff now. That's really good to know.
Yeah, and they've just added, I think Jen had on-site before I did, because she was saying it's making on-site sales. And I'm like, why am I not included in this? I'm not getting anything. It's not fair. But I am seeing it now. And so if I see a campaign pop up, I'm going ahead and accepting it if I have a video created for it. And then I don't have to do anything. And I see those things, see the sales come in. And a lot of times you'll be able to tell because it won't necessarily show a click number. It'll just show a sales number.
Yep.
And so that's probably from your video. And then, but make sure you accept it, because you don't start earning until you've accepted it. So click that button as soon as you see it to get the maximum earnings on your stuff.
Yep. And on the back end, in Creator Connections at the top there's an option for view reports. If you click those reports, it'll give you a better idea of where the sale's coming from. Because like Elizabeth said, if there's no click on it, then it's most definitely coming from on-site. And whenever I get a sale on something on-site that I know is on Creator Connections, I'll wait a couple days and I'll compare the reports, and you can see it reflected there as well.
Interesting. What kind of additional commissions are you guys seeing in content in Creator Connections? There we go, for on-site.
It's the same that the campaign offers.
No kidding. Well, that's a good bump for us.
Yes.
I need to go dig through.
Yeah, they updated recently, and so now they'll have a recommended, like you can sort campaigns by recommended. And if you have sold things in the past and it's a campaign that's expired and now it's come back again, it'll put it right at the top and it'll say recommended because you've sold it before.
Fascinating.
And you just, like Elizabeth said, you just have to accept it, and any sales you get on it will automatically update to that report.
Wow.
And I'll use the same video. I don't create a new video. If it's a new campaign, I don't care. They don't care. It's the same sale. That's what's making the sale. So just upload your old video link and you're good.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Tyler says, I've made about $200 on 2 products. I only do on-site, so I know where it's coming from. I've only been doing Creator Connections for like 2 weeks. This is a solid way to expand what you're doing on site now that they've added this to Creator Connections. And I love it. I was hoping they would, but so let's see. We've got another one from YouTube here. So Creator Connects, you can use your on-site videos. Wow. So you just put a link. I can't read this, just the video link directly. Sorry. I'm sure you wrote that correctly. I'm just stumbling. So, that's what it sounds like you guys are saying, right?
Yeah, you just go into you can either pull the link from like Creator Hub from your manage video section, or you can, on your storefront, you have that share button. It's got like the little, up in the corner of the video, there's an arrow. You can click that and upload it right to the button.
Nice. Yeah. Eric says, I'm glad they are finally adding more reports to Creator Connections. It's been a long time waiting. Yeah. When they first launched, I would just tell people, I was like, listen, it could be really cool in the future, but it feels like it's in beta right now. So amazing.
I also want to pop in and just say, like, I recommend watching what you sell, because if you are selling things consistently on site that's part of Creator Connections, always check those reports, because I had something that I sold like 8 or 9 of, and it was like 50% commission, and it wasn't showing up on my Creator Connections. So I took until I reached out to them. I never got an email back, but within 2 days, it was all uploaded onto my report. So just keep an eye on that.
Nice. I think that's a good call out. I think between like that type of miss where it's like, it's not quite, there's like a connection on the back end that they were like, oh, bug, right? Or like the clicks issue that was happening, I think in like October, where people, their clicks dropped out, but it was like, oh, we know, we're going to fix it. Like sometimes just an email or reaching out to support is really helpful. Yeah, especially when we go in numbers, so they know that it is actually an issue. So that's a good call out, Jen. Tyler says, I'm also a Vine member, so I try to cross-reference to see if they're on Creator Connections. That's a really good call out, because if they're launching, especially with Vine, or if they're doing Vine, asking for Vine reviews, then it is possible that they're running multiple types of campaigns between Creator Connections and also with Vine. Oh, this is a good question for you guys. Is it retroactive for the current month, or only from the time you accept it?
From the time you accept it. So if you have sold a bunch throughout the month, but you never clicked the accept button until the last day, you're not making the extra commissions. So you've got to click that button. The sooner you click the button closer to the beginning of the campaign, the better.
Whoa. I wonder when we'll be able to set up notifications like, hey, notify me if anything I sell regularly goes live with a Creator Connection
I try to check
campaign.
it every morning. I just go on and check, like you can check by newly listed. So if
Mhm.
there's something new that's listed on Creator Connections, it'll populate at the top and just sort through them. And sometimes I'll do like, okay, what's ending quickly? Or you can sort by brand even. So if you had a seller that wanted you to post a certain deal and you're like, I think that's been on Creator Connections before I post the deal, I'll go in and see if that item is on Creator Connections and accept it so that if I make any sales, you get it. But yeah, you won't make any sales until you've clicked the button.
Interesting. I've got to add this into my like daily routine now, but Eric says he checks it twice a day. I love it. And then Tyler says check recommended. Sometimes it shows your items. All right. And then we've got one from YouTube. It says, sounds like there needs to be an extension feature for that. Solid recommendation. I will take a look at that and see if we can do something to help you guys out. All right. Well, ladies, I would consider this a wildly successful first Ask Me Anything. This was so much fun. I think I'm just double checking our comments in all the locations right now, but I think we have answered everything. I appreciate you guys jumping on with me. I know that, you have a bunch of stuff kind of like going in and around right now between homeschooling and toddlers and everything else. So thank you for jumping on. I find it so beneficial to like hear just what everybody else is seeing, right? Because none of us can be everywhere all the time with all the things. So being able to crowdsource expertise is so helpful. So Eric says, I love it. I was only here for the last 10 minutes, but loved every minute. So Eric, thanks for joining us. But all right, well, we will put together between the mods, we'll start looking at schedules and try and put together something that is a predictable time period for you guys about once a month where like whether it's, I don't know, this is like the second Friday of the month at the moment, but whatever that looks like, so that you guys can a little bit more predictably know when we're going to be live. And if you have any questions, we're available in the chat. We're very active on the page, like wherever you can find us. Please feel free to drop those questions. And thanks for coming out and joining us live and for the replay.
Have a great weekend.
Have a
Bye,
good weekend,
guys.
guys.